Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the next big thing in the world of classical music, at least according to Decca. Usually I get all these press releases. I've shared some of them with you, and 99% of the time I just throw them out. I get rid of them. But every so often, something comes along that is just so special that I feel I have to do their job and promote whatever they're promoting for whatever it's worth. And this one was a really good one. And it's short, so we can just look at it and move on with our lives. Apparently, it's the release of a single. You know how most of these things are like, digital singles now, because classical music should not come in anything longer than a pop song. If it comes in too large a thing, it doesn't fit the new paradigm. And the new paradigm is, of course, the fact that people only have 3-minute attention spans, 4 minutes if you want to push it. And so new classical music has to fit within that paradigm. It's fascinating, isn't it? It's like we've gone back to the days of 78s, to 4 minutes and 33 seconds or whatever it is, where everything had to fit on one side of a 78 or a 45. It hasn't changed at all. Nothing has changed. It really is kind of amazing. So what do we have here? Wait a minute. It came from Decca. Let me get this sucker out here, and I just have to read this to you because it is so amazing. So amazing. This is about a Swedish composer named Benjamin Gustafsson, who has written a new single. I never heard any of the old singles, so I wouldn't know anything about the new singles. But the new single is called She is Poetry. Yes, she is just poetry. I guess that means that she rhymes. I don't know, because most people think poetry has to rhyme. Well, never mind. Here we go. You ready for this? Just 2 juicy paragraphs. Absolutely delicious. Benjamin Gustafsson's music is strikingly singular. The work of an artist wholly committed to individuality and emotional expression, as if no one else is wholly committed to emotional expression. Okay. Gorgeous post-classical constructions that ooze out of the speakers. Let me read that phrase again. Gorgeous post-classical constructions that ooze out of the speakers. Each piece, minimalist in construction, yet built for maximal impact, casts a spell, leaving a lingering emotional resonance that almost goes beyond words. But evidently it doesn't, because it's called She is Poetry. It's all about words, right? Or something like that. So that's paragraph 1. What does it mean? I look at this and it's words that have been cobbled together, but they don't say anything. Let's read this again, shall we? I just have to read it again. I couldn't believe this. Benjamin Gustafsson's music is strikingly singular, the work of an artist wholly committed to individuality and emotional expression. Gorgeous post-classical constructions that ooze out of the speakers, each piece minimalist in construction, yet built for maximal impact, casts a spell, leaving a lingering emotional resonance that almost goes beyond words. I'm so desperate to know what kind of post-classical construction is going to ooze out of my speakers. It's the ooze that really gets me. It just oozes. It drips. It suppurates. Oh, God. Second paragraph. Let's go on, shall we? Working from his home studio in rural Sweden. Notice, all the imagery, right? He's an individualist, and he's out there in the middle of nowhere, because only nowhere can inspire you, right? Okay, anyway. Working from his home studio in rural Sweden, this musical auteur, he's an auteur. The auteur embraces solitude. I love you, solitude. I'm embracing solitude. Yes. He's almost entirely isolated, but this forces him to embrace his own thoughts, to comb through his own emotions. To find whatever is within, he insists, you have to leave everything and sit with yourself. I think there's something there that I am very drawn to, the solitary life. It's just questioning, what is my function in this life? How do we reach its fullest potential? Art is his lens to view life through. Grammar! Art is his lens to view life through. In time, Benjamin Gustafson will bring his world into focus. You mean he hasn't yet? You mean you're releasing this She Is Poetry, which consists of an ill-focused, solitary hermit trying to figure out what the meaning of life is, and we're supposed to pay to listen to that? I mean, it is such an illogical concatenation of poor grammar and highfalutin nonsense. What can I say? I just loved it. I loved it. That's the whole thing, by the way. Listen to Benjamin Gustafson's new single, She Is Poetry, here. And there's a picture. There's a picture of like a girl in a white dress in the middle of a tundra, because that's what She Is Poetry obviously means, and since he spends his life sitting in the middle of the tundra. And that, my friends, is the press release. What does this mean? I mean, you have post-classical oozing from your speakers by an auteur who is seeking for the meaning of life but whose vision has not yet come into focus. And this is supposed to be the talking points. These are the talking points. These are the things that are supposed to attract us to this fabulous post-classical masterpiece. Well, I leave it up to you, and I have nothing more to say about it. I just had to read that to you because it just blew my mind. And it still does, frankly. Let's keep on listening, shall we? And instead of reading these things or talking, I know I talk all the time, but yes, there are better things to listen to than ill-focused ooze. I mean, right? Are we all agreed on that one? Take care.